All right. Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be talking to you about motor development across the lifespan. Motor development is basically the process of how humans learn movement skills and improve those skills throughout life. That includes everything from a baby learning how to crawl, to teenagers playing sports, to older adults trying to stay active and independent. You probably don't think about it much, but almost everything you do every day involves motor development. Walking to class, texting on your phone, playing basketball, driving a car, or even balancing while carrying a backpack are all examples of motor skills. Today, we'll talk about what motor development is, why it matters, how movement changes from childhood to adulthood, how the brain and body work together, and how movement changes as people age. By the end of this presentation, hopefully you'll understand how movement skills affect people throughout their entire lives. So let's get into it. What is motor development? Motor development refers to the changes in movement abilities over time. These changes happen because of growth, learning, practice, and life experience. There are two major types of motor skills. The first type is gross motor skills. Gross motor skills use large muscle groups. Some examples of this include running, jumping, throwing, swimming, or riding a bike. The second type is fine motor skills. Fine motor skills involve smaller, more precise movements. Some examples of this are writing, typing, drawing, using a phone, or playing video games. Think about how difficult it was when you first learned a skill. Maybe it was riding a skateboard, learning to shoot a basketball, or driving for the first time. At first, the movement probably felt really awkward, but after enough practice, your body became more coordinated. That improvement is called motor development. Motor development is important because it helps people become independent, active, healthy, and confident. Why does motor development matter? Motor development affects mostly every part of your life. First, movement skills help people perform everyday activities safely and efficiently. Simple tasks like walking upstairs, carrying groceries, or driving all depend on motor skills. Second, motor development affects sports and physical activity. Athletes spend years practicing movement patterns to improve speed, balance, coordination, and reaction time. Third, movement can affect confidence and mental health. People who feel comfortable being active are often more willing to participate in sports, gym class, dance, exercise, etc. For example, imagine two students in PE class. One student has practiced basketball for years since the day he was born, maybe practicing with his dad or going to specialized camps, while another student has never played. There's a huge difference. That student may feel nervous or embarrassed to even touch a basketball. This experience and practice makes a huge difference. Physical activity can reduce stress and improve mood, and exercise helps both body and brain. An interactive question I have for you guys would be, think about a movement skill that was difficult for you to learn. Maybe it was skateboarding, riding a bike, swimming, or driving. What helped you improve at it? Most people improve through repetition, coaching, practice, and experience. That's exactly how our motor development works. Motor milestones in childhood. Motor milestones are important movement skills that children typically learn during development. Babies usually learn skills in a predictable order. Usually it starts with rolling over, then sitting up, then crawling, then standing, then walking, and then finally running. Even though every child develops at a slightly different speed, these milestones usually happen in a similar sequence. As children grow, they improve balance, coordination, strength, and reaction time. Play is extremely important during childhood because it helps develop movement naturally. For example, when kids play tag at recess, they are improving running, agility, coordination without even realizing it. When children throw a ball for the first time, the movement may look awkward because their muscles and coordination are still developing, but with practice, their movements become smoother and more controlled. The brain and muscles work together during this process. The brain learns how to control the movement more efficiently over time. That's why practice is so important when learning a new skill. Growth and puberty. During adolescence and puberty, the body goes through major changes. Teenagers often experience rapid growth spurts where they become taller very quickly. Um, Fortunately for you guys, um, if you were able to see me, you would tell by my short stature that does not really apply to me. But usually, during this stage, bones grow, muscles become stronger, hormones change, coordination may temporarily change. My bad. Sometimes teenagers feel clumsy during growth spurts because their bodies are changing so quickly. For example, an athlete who suddenly grows several inches taller may temporarily struggle with balance or coordination because their body proportions have changed. This is completely normal. Puberty also affects athletic performance. Some students may suddenly become faster or stronger just because of muscle growth and physical maturation. Sleep, nutrition, and exercise are especially important during this stage of life. For example, athletes need protein and nutrients to build muscle. They also need sleep, which helps the body recover and grow, while also needing exercise, which improves coordination and strength. Healthy habits during adolescence can help people stay active throughout their life. Perceptual motor development. Perceptual motor development is how the brain and body work together. Perception means understanding information from your senses, especially vision and hearing. Motor movement is how your body responds. Your brain constantly processes information and tells your body how to react. For example, imagine a baseball player standing at home plate. The player has to watch the ball, judge the speed and direction, decide when to swing, then move the body quickly and accurately. All of that happens in just a few seconds. Another example is driving a car. Drivers constantly have to watch traffic, react to stoplights, judge distances, control the steering wheel, and pedals. Even in video games, this also involves perpetual motor skills because players must react quickly using hand-eye coordination to change directions on a controller or anything like that. An interactive question for you guys would be, why do you think athletes need quick reaction time? Athletes usually need quick reaction time just for a fast reaction time helps athletes respond quickly to changing situations in sports, and even a small delay can make a huge difference, especially in a sport like baseball or football or tennis, anything with fast hand-eye coordination movement. Social and cultural influences. Motor development is also affected by social and cultural factors. People develop motor skills differently depending on family support, access to sports or activities, school programs, community opportunities, and cultural traditions. For example, some cultures place a strong emphasis on soccer, while others focus more on martial arts, dance, gymnastics, or other activities. Friends and family also influence physical activity. If someone grows up in a family that enjoys hiking, sports, or outdoor activities, they are more likely to develop strong movement skills. Technology can also influence motor development. Video games and phones can improve some fine motor skills and reaction time, but too much screen time can reduce physical activity. That's why balance is extremely important. Positive encouragement from coaches, parents, and teachers can help students feel more confident and willing to participate in movement activities. Aging and motor performance. Motor development continues throughout the entire lifespan, including older adulthood. As people age, some physical abilities naturally decline. Um, as most of you guys may probably tell from your grandparents, older adults may experience slower reaction time, reduced balance, less flexibility, loss of muscle strength, with the exception of a few really cool old people. However, regular exercise can slow many of these changes. Activities like walking, stretching, yoga, swimming, and strength training can help older adults stay healthy and independent. For example, balance exercises can reduce the risk of falls, which are a major health concern for older adults. An older adult who stays active is often more able to continue doing everyday tasks independently for much longer. Interactive question for you guys would be, what activities do you think help older adults stay independent and healthy? All great examples, but usually anything where that is staying active is important to an everyday life. Real world examples. Motor development connects to many real world activities. Like, for example, like I keep touching on skateboarding. Skateboarding requires a lot of balance, coordination, timing, and practice. Sports like basketball or football require athletes to develop movement patterns through repetition. That's why you'll see a lot of football players or basketball players going through agility ladders. Gaming and esports use fine motor skills and hand-eye coordination. Practice for this would probably be whenever you guys go back home, hop on the game, grab your controller, and just start, let's say, for example, playing something like Fortnite. It's very dependent on how your thumbs and pointer fingers move, depending on how you play. Another example would be driving. Driving requires perceptual motor coordination because drivers must process information and react quickly in real time. Physical therapists usually help injured people relearn movements after injuries or surgeries just due to a long time without the use of a muscle and just forgetting the movement. Um, Even musicians use fine motor skills, like drummers, guitar players, and pianists usually spend years improving their precise hand movements. But the important thing to remember here is that movement skills improve through practice and experience. Nobody is automatically perfect at a skill. Improvement happens over time. In conclusion, today we learned that motor development is the process of learning and improving movement skills throughout life. In this PowerPoint, we discussed childhood motor milestones, growth and puberty, perceptual motor development, social and cultural influences, aging, and movement changes. The biggest takeaway that I hope you guys have is that movement skills improve through practice, growth, and experience. Healthy habits like exercise, sleep, nutrition, and nutrition, help support motor development skills throughout life. Motor development affects everyone, from babies learning to walk to adults trying to stay independent. Thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions, please ask at this time.